I need Twitch.
Welcome, everyone needs Twitch. Welcome, everyone, to the Mechanics Institute, live from downtown San Francisco. It's the start tonight of the Fred and Pat Mayntz Memorial Tuesday Night Marathon. This is an 8-round event, 2 rounds per evening. So games will start at 6:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. is the second round start. And this is fantastic. We're going to have a higher attendance than we did the last marathon. There's a lot of buzz about this event, and I think it has to do with kind of the way we pair this event. So our chief tournament director, Dr. Judith Stare, she pairs all the games manually on chess.com. So people have entered in advance. They can request buys, and it almost has a feel of a live event. You get paired, your games start, and when your game ends, you know that you don't have to hang around until, typically on chess.com, the last game's over, and everything starts right away. It starts at 8 or a little after, depending on the pairings. And
who are Fred and Pat Mayntz?
Actually, I'm glad you asked that. It's actually something that's really personal to me in my chess career, because I started playing chess in the mid-1980s. I learned how to play chess. I fell in love with the game. Taught myself, but then I wanted to get competitive and play at a club. And so I started playing at the Colty Chess Club in Campbell, California, like right next to San Jose. And it was at the Campbell Library, and it was in the basement. So you go down into the basement, and it was huge. They had over 100 people there. I was kind of in awe that so many people were playing chess. They did the pairings with a card that you put on a big board, right? Yeah. Really old school. And actually, like a few weeks, and I mean, I had no idea of chess history at the time. A few weeks after I started playing there, George Koltanowski did a simul there. And, little did I know that, this is history, like right before my eyes. But Fred and Pat Mayntz were the directors of the Colty Club. And I think the story goes that Koltanowski himself sort of recruited the Mayntses to kind of run the club, and they ran it for over a decade there. And they were like, grandpa and grandma to me when I started when I was 12. They were, this elderly couple, and, he was a master, like 2200, and,
I'm sure I met them.
Yeah, they're the nicest people, and Pat was like a 1400 player, and, Fred, they did the pairing, started the round, and then they played, and they were just the nicest people. I think they were had German accent.
What year was that? You joined? It
was like 1984, I think, 84. And the funny thing is, at least when you hear about, California chess history and all the people that you hear of, right, that, we've read about, and you don't actually hear that much about them. Wow. And I was always curious why. It was probably more because they were more local to, the Campbell area, because I don't think they organized events, bigger events outside of Colty. And then, right. And then after they stopped running the Colty Club, I think they moved to Reno or Nevada or Las Vegas, and then they started organizing some stuff there. Huh. But the Colty Club is still there to this day. It has a lineage of people running the club that were sort of descendants of that time, playing. Fred Leffingwell in Campbell. Fred Leffingwell.
What building do they meet at in Campbell?
So they moved from the library, and then they went to like a community center. I think they're in a community center now. I'll actually look that up. I'll actually put their information in the website. Obviously they're not meeting right now, but I mean they've continued to meet, and it's always been Thursdays. And now Wolfgang Beam is the director of the club, and he's been directing that club for several years now. And he used to play, back in the day. So it's kind of historic, actually, that club has continued to exist, and people have been willing to sort of volunteer to keep it going. So it's nice that has endured. And actually, it's a testament to Fred and Pat Mayntz that what they, headed still continues on to this day, much like the Mechanics Institute. So, so that's Fred and Pat Mayntz, and the tournament today. We have I don't know what the final tally is thus far, but I mean we have like well over 60 gonna play. I think by the time everything's over, we're gonna have over 70. So this is really exciting.
And you get to be FIDE Master Paul Whitehead today. And I'm able to element as a chess director.
All right, here, let me do some surgery here. Actually, one of the good things about like all the broadcasts we've been doing is starting to get proficient in this stuff. Or maybe not. Let's see. There we go. Yep.
So, the old days. I've been writing about the old days in the newsletter. And
you've been saying you've been having a ball doing it.
Yeah, I really have. I mean, sometimes I'll write about something that's not directly concerning me, and it's not as interesting unless it's a memory or some games that you yourself have played, and then it really brings it alive, like we were just talking about before we started going on. I think you have to write about things that touch you, and are close to your heart.
Yeah, and I was kind of like mentioning to you that I was writing about the newsletter. I was writing about the peoples, but I wasn't able to cover it the way I wanted to. And even though I have fond memories, there were some limitations that I had for various reasons. But
it's funny because you saw I wrote a piece about I played in 7 people's chess tournaments, I think, and I just bombed out in every one of them. I lost my score sheets. I don't know what it was about that tournament.
And you think the people tournament suits you, like you fit right in.
I would have thought so, but I just never had a good tournament there.
Yeah.
And I love the location and the people that were there. I mean, it was
the very last people's tournament that I co-organized. In the final round, we had to evacuate Poly Ballroom because there was a fire. And the fire trucks came into the campus, and me and Richard Kepke were, standing outside. It's like, okay, what are we gonna do? So then, they got the all clear, and then brought everybody back in, resumed the games, and if you can't have the bongo drums, then you get the fire engines, the fire alarm.
Well, it was a great place to play chess and socialize. It really was. I mean, it was right there on the campus. So it was a great location.
Yeah,
it's kind of loud and
we
it was
did
central and
we did it.
Great players turned out for it.
Right, and we did it at the faculty club a couple of years, which was kind of a nice location inside there. And then Poly Ballroom was nice because the view is spectacular. The lighting is the lighting is the lighting, not the best, but you get a great view. So, all right. So can we talk about the tournament itself? The pairings are up.
Wow.
And
okay.
For those, let me put it in the chat. If you follow that link, pairings up.
And Cam Acho is asking if he can play next week.
Yeah, so I believe that is Camacho.
And,
absolutely. You can play next week. We can give you buys for the first 2 rounds. This is 8 rounds, so it's going to be over 4 weeks.
Yikes.
So you can get buys for the first 2 rounds and then jump in next week and then get your game on. So absolutely, and we'll be letting everyone that we can tell know that it is never too late to join. Perfect. So just send us
yeah. You and I are here to plug the chess club and to criticize the games in progress.
Well, I'll plug the chess club. You criticize the games, and I'll criticize the people. How's that? And we can play to our strengths. And
so we'll have fun.
And let's give major props to Chief TD Judith, who is manually pairing everything. She's making sure everyone gets squeezed in.
Is she going to join us?
We'll see. Ready to go. She's ready to go. She's ready to start the round, she said. So at 6:30 sharp, games will begin. And yeah, we
have some good players in this tournament.
Yeah, so the defending champion is back. Kyron Griffith will be on board 1 against Barbara Goodkind in the first round.
Wow.
I am Elliot Winslow on board 2. Will play Kevin Fong, the attorney. Board 3, Rui Yang Yan is playing Glenn Kaplan.
Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, and she's more like the wolf than Little Red Riding Hood. And then on board 4, Theo Biasis against Kevin Joe Roberts. And
wow, there's a famous name.
We have 24 boards in the top section, 2,600 plus.
Wow.
And then leading the way in the under 1,600, Pranav Pradeep, who most of these players played the last one against Andrew Ballantyne.
Okay.
Oh, you know who's playing up in this tournament is Daniel Perloff, who
and Ramacheeta.
And Ramacheeta is playing up also. And
one of my students in my Wednesday class.
Yeah, so we have some pretenders trying to be contenders.
Daniel, you're in the chat. That means that we're going to have to avoid your game or find something to say about your game. Not to give anybody anything away. Not that following my advice is a good idea anyway.
And Judith's in the chat saying no to something. So
no to us.
Probably no. Did we say something wrong, Judith? Just no.
Just no. Yeah. Just no, you guys.
I'll put nem, which is no in Hungarian, I've learned.
Is that right?
Yeah, nem. Yeah. And then Egan.
Well,
Egan
it's 6:30. Yes. These games should be underway. Or we'll just follow them. And
So let's go. Let me find and pull games up.
Game in 35 plus 2.
Game in 35 plus 2 is the time control. So let me pull some games up here. Oh, I don't want to do that here. Sorry about that. And let me see here. Oh, some games are not ready to go. Let's see. Christian Clemens, we'll pull his up. Ruiz, we have up. Elliot. And, oops, I don't want to go there. Asha Guzman, why not? Mercado. And I'm just getting a lot of games up on the...
Yeah, so we can come back to them.
And Kyron started. Perloff. Gotta have Rama in there. Okay, so... all right, well, let's start at the top. Let's see Kyron Griffith and Barbara Goodkind. And, actually, let me fix that because it looks like...
the A file's missing.
We're missing an A file here. Let me do a little surgery here.
Well, Kyron is facing the London system, which is giving everybody a big headache lately.
Why is that?
Well, it's difficult to play it's difficult to play for a win with black. And plus, everybody wants to play like Carlsen now. So now they're playing these hybrid London systems with bishop f4. And
There we go.
Back in my day, everybody wanted to play like Fischer and open with pawn at e4. Now everybody's playing like Carlsen and playing the London system. This goes to show you that fatty chess opening theory is, I think.
And Kyron pretty solid with his openings.
Yeah. This, if you want to play for a win with black, this can be a tough system to face. And there's all kinds of different ways to play this with black. But Kyron's choosing a kind of a classical approach here. And white's playing with knight c3, which is, a modern twist to it.
Let me check Elliot Winslow and Kevin Fong. And we'll switch into that game in a bit.
Okay, this looks like it. Well, I know it came out of a Petrov because I saw the first bunch of moves. And, well, Elliot's got an unbalanced position here, which should suit him.
The wilder, the better, right?
Queen. Isolated queen pawn.
Especially against a less experienced opponent.
All the pieces still on the board. Black needs to catch up in development here, or could fall prey to some vicious attack, an Elliot-style vicious attack. Development, folks.
Very important.
Yeah, I emphasize this all the time.
Let's check in on Rui. We'll switch into that game.
So if Rui marries somebody one day named Lopez and takes their name, would she be Roy Lopez?
You know what? You would think we've heard that a million times, but we have not. I think.
Wow, I'm making it up? Hard to believe. This has gone well for black. Very well. Nice space advantage. 2 bishops. Pressure down the e-file. Black's already better in this kind of Benoni type of position. And it doesn't look like she's had to do much to sweat this one so far. If I was black, I'd be very pleased with the outcome of this opening. Yeah, she's, who's Glenn, by the way?
That's Glenn Kaplan.
Glenn Kaplan, okay. Yeah. My advice to Glenn is you gotta push a little harder in the opening. You give players an advantage with black in the opening. You're not doing enough. There'd be a little bit more ambitious in the opening. Black's got a very good game.
So I'm gonna switch to Daniel Perlov's game. He's playing Stuart Katz. So he's got a strong 1800 level opponent.
And Daniel's playing up.
He is playing up, yes.
Okay. Well, he plays well enough to play up into the open. It's a 1600 plus section.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can do it. If anyone can do it, he can do it.
What do we have here?
It looks like this came from a Sicilian defense, hyper-accelerated dragon.
I can believe it. Well, white's got some pressure down the c-file, and if I'm black, I want to find some way to counter that. Maybe queen b6, and a5 and a4 or something like that. The chances could be in black's favor if he's able to deal with some of this pressure on the c-file. He'll have a better bishop in this position. But black needs to somehow deal with this backward pawn on c6. I think it's possible.
Okay. Let me check in on. Why don't we check on Ramacheeta? He's got a tough opponent. He's black against Satvik Krishnan.
I'm familiar with this opening. This is an English opening. Saruman used to play this way with white all the time, and didn't really ever get that much. He was the last serious practitioner of this opening, I think, and this particular kind of setup here. And so Drydas could have played bishop h3 there, maybe to trade off the bishop before playing knight d4. But knight d4 looks like a good move too. And it is a common idea here in this position. These are complicated positions, but black seems to be okay in this opening.
Okay, and for those of you who watch,
it's not played a lot with white anymore, this setup.
All right, so I just took my earphones off, so let me know how the sound is now, because I'm wondering if there was something with the headphones. I'm going to switch over to Adam Mercado and Kevin Sutton.
Oh, this is just a classic King's Indian here. I don't think they've gotten out of the opening, out of the book yet.
Thank you, Camacho, for, I guess the sound's a lot better now. So glad it's all good. Yeah, I got to play Kevin, actually, in the, I played the Saturday arena. Yeah, he's kind of a tough, he's going to be a tough little player.
Now I'm echoing, huh? Am I sitting maybe too close to the, should I lean back a little bit?
Oh, yeah, maybe you're close to the... Yeah, try that.
Yeah, I'll try leaning back a little bit and see how that works. This is, how'd you do against Kevin?
I won, but it wasn't easy. Like, it went to the end game.
He needs to learn some things, and he's going to be a very strong player. This is just a standard King's Indian here with... playing knight e1, d3, and now if black plays pawn f4, we're going to get Fischer played c5 in this position here for black, and that's kind of maybe a more solid way to play rather than to play f4, g5, and bank everything on the king side. So c5 is a major alternative. But Kevin goes ahead with f4, and now we're getting this standard, queen side versus king side. Black is going for the brilliancy prize, and white survive the onslaught, and
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm going to switch over to Christian Clemens against Erica Malikan.
What is Cylon? I sound like Cylon? What does that mean?
Is that that has to be some? Isn't that like a robot, like transformer type?
That's great, actually. But should I continue to sound like Cylon?
And Battlestar Galactica reference. And
I will now sound like robot for rest of tournaments.
And Mansour, if you're still listening, make sure you're in play and live chess. So when you go to chess.com, make sure you go to play and then live chess, because I think they're trying to pair you, but you're not actually in live chess. So please check that out.
So Christian Clemens has gone pawn hunting here against Erica Malikan. He's a pawn ahead.
Yeah, but Erica does not seem to have the compensation, or does she?
I mean, that's what we're going to find out. May the best chess player win, kind of thing.
Yeah. Let me.
Still too early to tell.
Let me switch back to board one.
And I'll switch back to Cylon mode. I am robot. Okay. Wow, this game has progressed a lot.
Oh, wait a minute. Something went wrong for... a rook's gone.
A whole rook is gone. What's going on here? I just noticed that myself.
Should we take a look? And
Game over. Game over.
Okay, so we're here at this position.
Okay.
Let me wait for you to get there.
I see. No, I'm
and
there.
And then there, queen there, the knight's being attacked.
Right.
Oh, just kind of gave that.
Rook D2. Oh, that looks like a
misclick, right?
Mouse slip almost. But I can't understand this Rook D2 move.
But if it was a mouse slip, what are you trying to do?
That's a good point. I just do not understand Rook D2.
Yeah, something makes
no sense. Pawn to B3, maybe.
Yeah, just something.
And now you're down a rook.
Yeah, something happened there.
That's unexplained. Very difficult to explain. Okay. Oh, well.
All right. Board 2. Mr. Winslow.
Elliot Winslow needs a robot commentator. This is Cylon. Elliot Winslow.
Have you seen Battlestar Galactica?
No.
You know who's a huge Battlestar Galactica fan?
No.
Judith.
Is that right?
Yeah, she's a huge Battlestar Galactica fan.
Maybe she's the one that's making me sound like Cylon.
Maybe. And she's a fan of the new one. I don't know if she watched the old one, but she likes the new one.
See, I go back to the old Star Trek with Leonard Nimoy.
I'm a huge Star Trek fan.
Actually,
I just finished watching all of them. The old, yeah, because on Amazon Prime they had it the whole season, the 3 seasons for free. So like, just
how many seasons were there?
3.
Only 3 with William Shatner and 3. That's it.
Yeah.
How many episodes?
It was like 20 some per season.
Oh, so that's a lot of episodes.
It is a lot of episodes.
Yeah. They cut it short after 3 seasons.
Yeah. Let me get to board 3 here.
Well, let's take a quick look at Elliot's game. Yeah, Elliot's doing all right. Complicated. Classical kind of game.
Yeah, Kevin Fong's playing strong. I mean, he used to be, I think, a 2000 level player many years ago.
I think he might have beaten my brother once a long time ago.
Yeah, and that's no small ask. His brother being Jay Whitehead.
Yeah, Jay Whitehead.
So switching to Rui.
In fact, I should do an article on my brother Jay and annotate some of his games.
You have written articles on Jay, but
Joel Benjamin wrote a nice article on my brother.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, once. A very nice article in Chess Life. So white's just kind of thrashing around. Black is centralized. Has, the queen side advance. White doesn't really seem to have much here. Just moving around with the pieces.
And
Black is certainly better in this game.
That queen side.
Yeah, 2 bishops. Black sort of has his choice of her choice of how to sort of play the position here. Yeah.
Let's see here.
Nice. Do we have any games loaded in from the under 1600 section?
Yeah, let me find here.
I mean, I'm getting bored with these,
these like
master games,
top players. Let's see. We have one from Kui Kunjara. So this game is from the under 1600. This is Kui Kunjara against Ian Lau. And the thing about Kui Kunjara, who's Taz Devils 2005, I believe he is him and some other people are going to be helping take over the Y-Bell chess program for Dr. Alan Kirschner, who's retiring.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so Dr. Kirschner, he's actually going to be our guest this Friday on the Mechanics Chess Social. And, he's been doing scholastic chess for like 33 years or,
wow.
something of that long, leading the Y-Bell elementary chess program. It's, a national powerhouse, has been for several years.
Yeah.
And I know Quiz, I think a parent from there, and I think he's one of the people that's going to be heading that transition of continuing the program after Alan retires. So it's good to see him playing at Mechanics, boning up his chest for having to take over a national powerhouse pretty soon.
I love that the Tuesday night marathon attracts so many players, but it never attracts. We've had one grandmaster play in it, and that was we know who that was. He didn't do so well, but I like the fact that it doesn't attract the grandmasters, and that it's just this giant swamp of 2,400 to 400 ranked chess players, and anybody could win it.
Yeah, it's like an ode to the club player, right?
Exactly. It's set up perfectly for the club player.
And and I guess that's the feeling that the club player sort of takes center stage. Whereas, usually in the world, it's, the Carlsons and the Nakamuras that they're the center, but like sort of at Mechanics and through the Tuesday night marathon, the club players are sort of the stars.
Well, the thing is that Nakamura and Carlson, they were human once as well.
They evolved into...
They played in the club back in the day,
Let me go to this game, which looks interesting. It's Ashik Uzman. Ashik Uzman is playing Ishan Kodarapu, whose screen name is Fan of Pikachu.
Right. And here we have Ashik playing at terrific speed again.
Yeah, right. He's like saving his time.
One of his trademarks, but he has a very fine position here.
Yeah.
White's beautifully placed here with these blockading knights, and the black bishops are impotent. It's quite a nice position for White here, and I dare say close to winning position.
Kind of pieces all working together.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's the kind of thing that you want to happen. Black needs desperate measures here to sort of get out of the bind. Yeah.
Let's take a quick peek on Ramacheeta's game against Satvik Krishnan.
Abel, you and I, the transitions are instantaneous here practically. It's
we must be having good speed.
Yeah, I think. Well, I did what Judith advised me to do, which was empty the cache of the computer, and
maybe just made it faster.
It looks like it might have worked.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, Judith is the tech whiz, so.
Right. So this is an interesting game here. My student is black, and it's double-edged. White's got bishop h6 in mind here, so black needs to play either g5, followed by f5, or h5, and followed by h4, something like that. So there's interesting plans available here for this is a complex position. I like black's chances with the pressure, a little bit of pressure on the king side and down the e-file.
Kyron Griffith finished off his game against Barbara Goodkind. He was up significant material, so...
Oh, yeah. I'd like to hear one day what happened with Barbara there. That rook d2 is just... That doesn't make any sense. It's almost
we couldn't even imagine where the rook would go.
Yeah, it doesn't make any... It's a move that just... that sort of defies... any kind of logic, and makes me wonder what exactly happened.
So let me check in on this game with the Glenn Kaplan and Rui. Looks like Rui's doing what we expected, just kind of marching those pawns down.
Yeah, supported by the two bishops, and she needs to create a target or two, and then let's see. Well, White has knight c6 here. Let's start to look at. I suppose Black will just move the queen to d7, and then if knight e7, queen e7, and that transition, bishop versus bishop there, same color bishops, Black is still on top. But the past black pawn at c3 is coming up here. The threat is pawn to c3. So, and it was Black's move. So Black takes a move to prevent knight c6, and now c3 is a definite threat here. Very solid play by Rui.
Let's take a look at Elliot Winslow's game.
Yeah.
Looks like this one is sort of progressing a little slowly.
Classic isolated queen pawn kind of position here. Very, still quite complicated.
And
it's funny, Black is a little bit ahead in development. It's kind of odd how that happened. I'm not sure.
Ahead in development, how?
Well, it just, Black seemed to be one move ahead in development. And I'm not sure exactly how that happened. For example, if Black had played rook a d8, then all of Black's pieces would have been developed, and White still has his rook at a1. Black seems to have a decent game here. There's pressure on e3, and I'm not sure that Elliot has gotten anything out of this opening at all. So kudos to Chess Appeals, who's so far playing a good game.
And let me take the opportunity real quick. In the background, I'm going to put the game between Daniel Perloff and Stuart Katz. But we're organizing a massive event on Saturday, August 15th. It's called the Blitz Tournament of the Americas, and it's open only to titled players from North and South America, and it's a free tournament, completely free, no prize fund, and we have like so many players that are coming out to play.
Are we talking FIDE Master and above, or what?
Yeah, we're okay with national master and above. Okay. Like if a woman candidate master, it's a FIDE title. Right. Any title player, even national federation title and above. But we have like almost 70 players join. So many from Latin American countries.
Fantastic.
Mexico,
Abel.
Argentina, Cuba, Nicaragua, Bolivia.
And they're going to be broadcasting this event.
Yeah, and each country that has a player represented, they're going to try to broadcast from that country. So we're going to have like multiple streams.
Commentators.
Commentators and streams doing it, and we'll be doing it, for us, for the U.S. But we have GMs from other countries playing. We have GMs from our country playing. Enrico Sevillano has committed to playing.
Nice.
And let me look on the list because at the foreign GMs.
So it's is anybody from the United States eligible to play that has a title?
Yes, any player. So we have a lot. So just announcing from ours, and let me switch to Elliot's game in the background as I see it. So are players that have committed to playing. So Enrico Sevillano, International Master Andrew Hong, International Master Keaton Kira, International Master Ladia Jurasic, Josiah Stearman, Kyron, Eric Lee, Balaji Dagupati, Conrado Diaz, Ezra Chambers, Jivan Karamseti. These are the players that we know. Viom Vidyarthi and the sister
Elliot Winslow.
Rochelle Wu. F-Pawn, Michael Egner.
What's the time control?
It's a blitz. It's G3 plus 2. So
how many rounds?
9 rounds.
We're going to have to stay on the top boards.
Yeah, and Andy Lee actually confirmed today he's playing too. So
nice.
So it's going to be a lot of fun, and really the purpose of the event is to kind of like showcase the Latin American chess culture, and kind of bring that to the Latin American culture that exists here in the U.S. for chess. So chess is a way to bring communities together. I think this event will showcase that. So we're really excited about that.
And Abel, you can provide bilingual commentary too, right?
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Elliot's game is still, rocking on here. What happens if bishop takes d4 and winning a pawn is what I'm wondering about. And I'm wondering what Elliot has in mind for that.
The bishop d4, knight takes, knight. Oh, yeah.
I mean, Elliot could maybe play bishop to b5. And then the bishop goes back to b6. Oh, if the bishop goes back to b6, knight e5, maybe Elliot can regain his pawn. But black should certainly, I think, take this pawn here with, and maybe even knight d4 is possible. If knight f6 check, knight f6, knight d4, queen d4. I'm not seeing anything directly winning for white there.
Let's check in on Kevin Sun's game against Adam Mercado. I'm switching because this is actually kind of an interesting position, I think. What do you think here?
Again, this is kind of that typical, looks like some grandmaster game or something. This is really tough. I mean, black either breaks through on the king side or white finds some shot on the queen side here. Knight e6 is a strong move for white. This is a high-level looking game here, as far as I can see.
Yeah, it's like a lot going on.
Yeah, it resembles a lot of top flight games. I mean, black's got moves like pawn can sacrifice a pawn with pawn g3 here, maybe, or open the g file like this by taking and then finding some other way in.
I'm gonna switch real quick to Rui's game against Glenn Kaplan.
Okay.
Because this is this is what it looks like when you're rolling on.
Okay, so white's threatening rook takes c3. There's probably, at the least, black could play bishop c4. And if queen c3, bishop takes f1, rook c8, king h7, rook c8, king h7, check, king h7, bishop takes f1, pawn to b2, and that's going to cost white a piece.
And for viewers watching in between rounds, I'll get the list of all the games, and then we'll be able to cover a bigger range of games for round 2.
White never got off the.
Got started.
White never got off the ground here.
Let's take a peek at Christian Clemens and Erica Malikan. It looks like Erica got her queen in there, but I don't see any supporting pieces to.
It's a draw if she wants it, though.
Oh, perpetual, yeah.
Yeah. And in fact, maybe Black should play for more here.
You think?
Well, I mean, it's possible.
Can you White's going
to play Queen E2 very quickly.
Draw was agreed to. I was wondering if Black could play H5 and try marching, but...
Well, White will play Queen E2
right
quickly and try to evict the... a good result for Erica, though. I mean, Christian's a strong player.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, back to... Actually, let's take a look at Daniel Perloff's game.
Roy is winning this game easily here. Well, Daniel is doing something right here.
Looks like
let's see, he's down a piece. Yikes.
Down a pawn, right?
Well,
or a piece for pawns.
Two pawns,
piece for pawns.
White should be much better here.
Yeah, especially if he gets that bishop to F6. Yeah.
That's not the kind of thing you want to see happen.
No, not at all. Bishop F6, Queen D2. Yeah.
So White's winning here. I didn't see the extra bishop at first, and that's just kind of the way it is.
Let's go to Ramacheeta and Satvik Krishnan.
Well, a very complex game. Black seems to have got his knight kind of immobilized and needs to find a route back into the game.
You almost have to play like G4 or something. Huh?
Knight F8 and Knight D7. If I'm Black, that's one of the first things. Black's minor pieces are not good here. Yeah. And also there's a pawn hanging at D4. Yikes. Okay, so Black might be in some trouble here.
A lot of small things going on there.
Knight takes D4 and Knight to E6 is coming up.
Hey, let me check in on Elliot's game.
Somehow gone wrong for Black. Maybe a couple of bad moves, and he's gotten himself into this position.
So here we are, Winslow and Kevin Fong.
This follows that position that I was talking about. Black plays Knight takes F6, and then I was trying to find something winning for White. I guess White can play Knight D4, Queen D4, and then Bishop C3. White can try Knight E5 here. No, you have to. Yeah, the Queen was hanging. So, does Elliot have enough here?
But it looks like he's going to be down a pawn, right?
Well, let's see. Bishop C3, Queen F4, Bishop F6, Queen F6, and White can regain his pawn with Queen C7, and then he probably doesn't have...
Yeah.
White doesn't have much there, just regaining his...
And does White get the better endgame structure?
I don't see how. I mean, it's just, White's just got not much, I think. So Queen F4, Bishop F6, Queen F6, Rook C, Queen C7, and then Black could play could play pawn to B6, I think, there to defend the...
I have to check in on Adam Mercado and Kevin Sun because this game is out of control.
Two of the players are having a conversation about their game on
Christian Clemens and Erica.
Okay, so now this is really heating up. White's taken on F3 with the rook. And when Black played Bishop G4, threw the knight into E6, which is always going to be a good move for White here, for sure. That knight on E6 is worth the exchange. This looks like it might have gotten a little tough for Black here. The attack hasn't quite crashed through. If you play Bishop takes E6 and Rook E7, I mean, that might be the thing to do here, to take on E6. And then White's going to have a lot of compensation on those white squares.
But the white's rook on f3 is, I mean, it's stuck. You're losing that. Oh, no, I guess you can go to f1. Rook f1.
Well, no, I think white's going to leave that rook at f3 somehow. That knight at e6 is the real important piece here. And so black is just going to sit on that and say, oh, I think the big threat here is knight takes e4. That's the move. And maybe white should be not mind giving up the exchange here and play something like knight f2.
Yeah, defend that pawn.
Yeah, and then, I mean, that knight at e6 is a monster.
Actually, if the bishop, if you trade that white squared bishop for the rook, it's almost worth it to be able to leave that knight there.
Sure. Yeah. That's good flexible thinking. The exchange is one thing, but a dominating horse at e6 is another thing entirely, So this is a very complex game, and anything could happen here. But I like the way that the players are fighting it out. This has been a good game, a really good game.
So let me switch to. Oh wow! Let me go to Rui's game real quick. It looks like just what happened here.
Black's played queen takes f1 check, which is just a kind of a convenient move to finish white off completely, and it smacks of strong player kind of style.
This is how it played out. Yeah, and here we are. Yeah,
right. Just devastating.
You cannot stop the queen,
and black's going to be 2 rooks ahead. Yeah.
So she's doing it in style. So good for her. Let's switch to Elliot's game here. It looks like Kevin Palmer.
Okay, so black played queen h4 rather than queen f4, but the same thing. It's better actually because white would have had bishop e5. I really like the way Chess Appeals has been playing this.
Kevin Fong has found his mojo here.
And this is Elliot's in trouble. I mean, if I now see that if bishop f6, queen f6, queen c7, black has queen b2, and still trying to stay a pawn ahead. Yeah, this is not. Elliot hasn't proven anything with all these forcing moves, and black has played a good game so far. Elliot seems to be a little out of sorts in this game. It's not clear to me, what white should do here. Maybe bishop e5 would be a good move, and just kind of keep it complicated with the 2 bishops.
Let me look into Ashik Uzman's game.
Okay.
Looks a little interesting here.
Well, black has definitely gotten some chances here, I think. Bishop f3 check, maybe not. I'm not seeing. White's up 2 pawns, but it could be difficult to convert with the bishops of opposite colors thing here, though. Bishop f3 check, maybe king h2, and then rook f5, sort of putting a blockade on. Okay, black's going for the c pawn. This is tough. This is a tough little game here. Very tough. Bishop d1 looks like a good move. Yeah. Well, Ashik has a lot of time on it to be able to figure this out.
Let's go and check in on the Adam Mercado game real quick here.
Yeah.
Looks like the rook was...
Okay, so let's see. What did white play? White must have played pawn h3, I think.
Yes, h3.
Yeah, and not giving, forcing black to take the exchange. And now, I mean, why bishop h6? I mean, is it maybe to prevent knight g5? But I mean, the bishop is just as worthless, only a little bit more worthless there than it was on g7. But we can see black's problem. Even
you can't even go there. Up. I was thinking, I wonder if he's looking to get that bishop to g5 and then h4, but he's going to have to move the knight to have it supported. Yeah.
So maybe knight f8 is the idea here, and to try to evict that knight on e6. And white still has to get something. He's down the exchange. Okay, now targeting the h5 pawn. Bishop f2 targeting the a7 pawn was also possible. But now white also wants to play rook c7 maybe. So there's all kinds of issues going on here.
Rui won her game against Glenn Kaplan. So she
looks ahead. How did she win? Just kidding.
And let's go and check in on Elliot's game, because he's got some work to do. But he's played rook e3 here, and it actually looks like he could have a little attack going on to the king side. What do you think?
Well, let's see. Knight d5 is the move I want to play if I'm black.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You'd love to get rid of one of those bishops, yeah.
And then maybe rook e4 or something like that. I'm not sure.
And
bishop check and then rook e4, or bishop check and sack a bishop at g7. No, that's not going to work. But there's possibilities here for white. He's trying to keep it complicated.
Want to thank everyone for tuning in to rounds 1 and 2 of the Tuesday night marathon. Time control is G35 plus 2. Second round will be at 8 p.m. So as soon as the games are over, we will manually pair the next round, and the next round will be at 8 p.m. Or around there. And popular Tuesday night marathon. It's nice to have all the buzz continuing at the Mechanics Institute. So let's check.
This is a tough little position.
Yeah.
I mean, if knight d5 is the obvious move, but then rook e4 maybe, and attacking the queen, which has to go somewhere like h5 or back to e7. Okay. He's got something up his sleeve.
Funny enough, like the game of the round to watch is actually a game of in the lower bracket of the open section here with Adam Mercado and Kevin Sun. And Adam Mercado and Kevin Sun are two of the players that provide probably the most action in their game. So them playing each other should not be a surprise. We have a game like this.
Well, Kevin's got himself the exchange.
Now, he just played knight h4.
He just blundered a piece.
He just hung a piece, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah, white didn't think too long before taking it either.
Yeah, and I mean, he blundered a piece, but now he's...
I think black was under a little bit of pressure there. That's too bad.
But materially,
he was up the exchange, but under some pressure. But now he's just lost. He just gave away a whole knight. And so this
got to get rid of that knight on e6 somehow, somewhere.
The knight should have gone to f8, not to h4.
Now the knight's pinned.
What a tragedy. Okay.
h5's going to fall.
We've seen some inexplicable blunders in this game, in this round. Players are just getting warmed up.
Yeah, the action's just starting too. We had that apparent mouse slip with Barbara.
I'm not sure if that was a mouse slip or what.
Yeah, some happened. Let's go back and look at board 2. Let's see. This is a chess match and in the purest form.
All right, let's try to figure it out here. Knight d5. Knight d5. Now, if white plays rook g3, knight c3, that's, I guess, possible. And then queen c3, and white's on the g7 pawn and on the c7 pawn. Okay, so maybe Elliot just has something simple like that in mind here. Knight d5, rook g3, knight c3, queen c3, and then white threatens queen g7 mate, and also threatens queen takes c7. And then he would regain his pawn. And actually, black might have some difficulty in defending g7 in that position as well. So black is facing a little bit of a quandary. I mean, he could play f6, but then queen takes c7 will threaten queen g7 mate anyway. So, Elliot seems to have found I've seen an antidote to knight d5 here with rook g3.
He's definitely counting on his experience to...
A dangerous position for black, actually, in a way.
He's got to be precise.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to check in on...
Hello to GM Derek.
Oh, is he in? Is he with us?
He's with us. Who is GM Derek?
I believe that's Derek Wu.
Okay. Hi, GM Derek Wu.
Yeah, and actually, I was gonna, if you're in the chat and you're listening, I was gonna see if one of these TNMs you wanted to come in and do some commentary with us, because he did fantastic commentary with you during the John Donaldson Championship we had in December.
Yeah,
that was a whole lot of fun. All right, so he says he's in. So.
Okay.
You want to come on next week? We'll lock it up right now. You have 5 seconds to answer. He has 5 seconds to answer.
Come on down.
You come next week. All right, there he goes. He just made it. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
And so let me go to. This is. Joel Karen is white against Kaylin Melville, who is black. So it looks like
this is a tough little situation here for black.
So it looks like Joel's trying to figure out how to recapture.
Well, I think I might just recapture with the rook, and then with the idea of playing bishop takes c7. Maybe. Of course, bishop c7 can be met by knight d5.
Do you think he's looking at knight capture and then going to d3?
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, I like the idea. I like just taking with the rook. It's got a kind of more direct, the taking with the knight. Yeah, the knight could be good at d3. It could go to c5 maybe. Yeah, there's some possibilities for white here. Bishop, white needs to be able to get this bishop into the game. And
he ended up taking the rook.
With pawns on both sides. Okay, so white's not really threatening bishop c7 because of knight d5. In fact, that would be something black would hope for. So maybe king f7, but then white can play c4, threatening bishop c7 and also threatening pawn to d5. So what's black to do here? If black plays knight d5, pawn to c4, and then bishop c7. I mean, the threat is pawn to c4, and then pawn to d5 or bishop takes c7. And black has to worry that he's not going to get just pushed back into the wilderness here.
Let me take a quick look at Daniel Perloff's game against Stuart Katz, because we were looking at that game. We thought Daniel Perloff
had some chances. Oh no!
No, it was the other way. We thought he was about to meet his maker, but is he still on that path from what you see here?
Well, black needs a tactical solution here, because coming up is bishop
f6.
Yikes.
I don't know if you even have anything here.
I'm trying to find it. I'm not seeing it.
Like literally, like you don't have enough time.
We've got 10 minutes to figure.
Oh, there we go.
There you go, but that's not.
Does that buy you like a second?
I mean, what happens after pawn takes f6?
You're gonna get mated.
You have to play king f7 and allow f7. Oh, it's too bad. This is just horrible. Yeah.
Paul just called it. How about this game between Ramacheeta and Satvik Krishnan? Look at this.
Oh, that was an interesting game. Okay, so black. Wow.
What is this? Actually, he did well to free up. Well, I mean, his bishop to knight or something.
Play knight g5, but then he's going to be left with this horrible bishop at f8. Meanwhile, white's trying to crash through on the queen side. Ooh,
is there any positive thing?
Black could have played taken on b5 maybe there. This was played very. Oh, then knight a5, I suppose. So, wow, this game is very complex. Obviously, can white just play queen a6 here and take? I mean, white's got this really bad rook at f2. If that rook was at f1, I would say white's probably unable to swing over to the queen side quickly. If black plays knight g5, of course, white's just going to take it off. So, and that's not going to help black's cause at all. Black seems to be in a bit of trouble here, I would say. White should maybe just play queen takes a6. I don't see anything wrong with that. Look at this. Tactics, folks. If pawn takes c5 check, well, that's even stronger.
Very nice, yeah.
Yeah, that's even stronger than the move than queen takes a6. It looks like.
Oof.
Wow.
And then e6, nice.
Knight e6 or knight c6 and that's a very fine move.
Nice tack. Let's switch over to board 2 to Elliot Winslow.
Yikes. Okay, so it came to pass. Knight d5, rook g3, knight c3, queen c3, and as I noted before, g7 is hanging, and so is c7. If black plays pawn f6, queen takes c7, and suddenly black looks like he's in quite a bit of trouble there. I mean, if this is all true, black should not have gone into this and played knight d5. If g6, bishop g6 looks like it might just force mate.
Oh, yeah.
Suddenly, black seems to be in some trouble here.
And yeah, I mean, when Elliot played rook e3, I mean, this was the vision. Right?
This was the vision, yeah, and I think that knight g5 might have helped Elliot. What superficially looked like the right thing, it looks like it might have helped white out. I mean, maybe black should go g5 here. But then you're losing your pawn at c7. White regains the pawn, and black's king is quite exposed. But maybe g5 is necessary.
And Stuart Katz defeated Daniel Perloff, so that ended as we thought. Let's do a quick check-in on the Adam Mercado Kevin Sun game.
Well, this is just lost.
Yeah, he's coming in. I mean, h5 is still hanging.
It's two knights two knights versus a rook, and the white bishop is operating very nicely, and the black bishop is just horrible. I feel bad for Kevin here. This is you just don't want to play these positions out. I personally would probably resign here just because it's so awful looking. But it's good to be optimistic. Is there any other?
Yeah, let me just go back to Elliot's game real quick.
Yeah. Okay, so black played G5. That looked like it was practically forced. I think it was forced, just about. This is not what black wanted. Now there's a pawn hanging at B7. And black's king side is a bit full of Swiss cheese holes. Black's going for counterplay. I guess some kind of black needs to get a rook into the game or some kind of, huge centralizing move here. Like queen D4 or something like that. Black has chances to hold, but it's going to be tough.
Let's go to tough games. Let's look at that Joel Karen, Kalen Melville game here.
Ooh, black did very well here somehow out of this. Considerably better endgame. It looks like the bishop took the pawn at C7, allowing knight D5 and knight C3, and that was exactly what black wanted. Yeah, Joel made a mistake here, and I'm going to have to talk to him in my endgame class.
Interesting.
He is in my endgame class, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, bishop C7, if we go back a move, I don't know if you want.
Yeah. How far?
Yeah, bishop C7, knight D5, and knight C3 is kind of, that's, after black played king F7, let's go back one more move. Yeah, or white played bishop D6, let's go back one more move. After black plays king F7, not bishop C7, but white should have played pawn to C4. And I think white's better. White can still intend to take on C7, and white can play pawn to D5. White just seems to have the better game there.
Yeah.
And bishop C7 is a mistake.
And this is where we're at right now.
Yeah. And black has a nice. But why is black? I guess black is allowing pawn to D5, but black has a nice blockade on the D5 square. White can't play D5 without losing that pawn, knight E7, and just the weak white pawns at B3 and D4. Looks like almost a winning position for black.
Let's go back to Elliot's game here against Kevin Fong.
Technically. All right, so black is saying I'm content with being a pawn down in the end game.
Yeah, he had to give up that pawn to sort of calm the waters.
And I guess Elliot's trying to maybe thinking about playing queen E4 here.
I think he has a huge time advantage also.
Yeah. I mean, there's technical problems after queen B6, but white's definitely got, in the driver's seat in that position. Queen E4, if Elliot can find a win after queen E4, you don't necessarily want to encourage black to play F5 in that position. But there's other things happening here too, like white could trade and then play F4 and try to win another pawn.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, black can play F6, and then maybe white could play H4, and then if G4 f5 and rook takes g. Yeah. Something doesn't look good for black here.
Let's do a quick check on that Adam Mercado game. He's trying to use survival tactics here.
Oh, okay. So queen g4. Whoa.
Something happened, right?
Yeah. Okay. So.
Oh, okay.
Rook. Black has no time for counterplay here before he's going to get mated.
Right. That check is coming.
What? Wait a minute. Queen b6 check.
Uh-oh.
And queen c7, but you lose the bishop on h6, and it's still bad. But Kevin is hanging in there.
Yeah, he's finding some resources, huh?
Yeah. I'm not sure it's all kosher.
No, it's definitely not.
Right. I mean, white still can return the bishop to g4 and then onto the other diagonal. So
let me switch over to Elliot's game because I see f5 was played.
Okay, so Elliot played queen e4, and I question that. You know, I mean, unless you find a win here, it's a dangerous way to play. But look at, okay, so Elliot goes for it. Look at this, threatening queen h6, and maybe Elliot's found a tactical solution to the problem here. Okay, well, wait a minute here.
He missed that part.
Yeah, well, there was that, and possibly Elliot just had a win with queen h6 too. There might have been a mate. Now black's 2 pawns down. Yuck.
Now he's going to go rook f8, which happened.
And then queen e3.
E3.
I mean, rook g5 check might even work. I don't think it might. Queen takes check, king f7. I think it works. It might work.
Which one?
Rook takes g5 check.
Oh.
Hg5, queen g5, king has to go to f7, then bishop g6 check, and the king has to fall into the line of the queen.
And Judith is saying 6 more games left in the round.
Wow. Bishop g6 check, if king g7, bishop e8 check. No, I'm not seeing a forced mate.
Let me do a quick peek on Ramacheeta's game because it seems like
Ellie can just play queen e3. So this has been a game for the ages. Boy, Rama's still in this.
Yeah.
I mean,
we sort of thought it would be difficult for him to play on, but he seems like he's found.
Yeah, he's 2 pawns down, and he's in trouble, but there's a lot of pieces on the board, so anything could happen. It still looks like white's in control here, but black is fighting, and maybe doubling up on the A file with the rooks or something. I don't know. Rook A5 and rook E8.
Let me go back to Elliot's game real quick here.
Anything could happen here, folks. Okay, queen e3. Now Elliot's 2 pawns up. This is a win. This is a win for him.
And he's running out of time, and it is a win. Elliot converts this game. Good game. It was not easy.
Yeah, Elliot showed some class there when the going got tough.
And Adam Mercado did win against Kevin Sun. Let's take a look at Joel Karen and Kaylin Melville.
Yeah, Joel, we're gonna have to talk about this. This is such a nice endgame for black here. There's got to be a technical win here.
Yeah, the pieces are all
targeting that pawn at b4. It's just yikes. Yikes. This is very instructive endgame. I'll talk to Joel about this in the endgame class.
So what did he do? I mean, we know what he did wrong, but like how should he be using his pieces now? Is the problem the fact that all these isolated pawns need defending by these pieces?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, white just has to have an opportunistic. White basically is waiting for black to take action and then hope that white's technique is black's technique is not up to snuff, because this is a very poor position and white can not really undertake anything, and that's part of the problem. He's gotten himself into a position where it's difficult to do anything, and white should have kept his pawns connected with pawn c4 and d5.
And we're seeing it here where white is having to use like the big pieces to defend pawns.
Yeah, it's just and it's it's the weak pawns at b4 and d4 and the bad bishop at e3, and there's a bunch of culprits here. Yeah,
you're gonna have to like give up a pawn to try to trade pieces.
Right, and trading the knights is not going to help at all. In fact, it's just to black's advantage as well, because white's still left with this poor bishop here. Rook b4 looks like a good move. Black goes up two past b pawns, one after the other. White's going to find no relief in trading here, and the black king is going to come up f7, e6, d5, and white would do well now to play knight b3 maybe, but it shouldn't make too much of a difference here.
Let me peek in on Rama and Satvik Krishnan. Looks like
white's blocked the long diagonal after all this time. He's been able to play e4, and now things are looking very dire.
Let me just go back. Oh yeah, it was a.
Oh, this is mate and 2, I think. Queen h5 and f6. It's not mate, but it's. Yeah,
we're getting there.
Yeah. White's taking all of black's pawns with check. This is just horrible.
Let's go back to Kalen's game and Joel Karen.
Yep, still the situation remains. Now the black king comes into the center, and if I'm white, maybe I'll try to play pawn d5 here to give my bishop some room.
And Judith saying 3 more games going. We're following 2 of them.
Okay. White could have thought about playing pawn to d5 there.
And Kalen is better, but we've seen the thing he's got to work on is his time management. He's got 41 seconds left. He's just got to...
So far, black's moves kind of played themselves.
Yeah.
And now black has to do some work here to get through. And I mean, the natural thing that black wants to do here is to be able to play king c4, king e4. So he's got to find a way to force that in. A little bit more infiltration is needed. And white's starting to put up some stout defense here, and it's good.
It'll be interesting to see the time, how this plays out.
This just loses to knight. Black could have played knight takes e3, fe3, and knight back to c4, which would have picked up the e3 pawn. So he misses something. And he gets his knight into c3.
Satvik Krishnan looks like he will win against Ramacheeta.
Oh, and white trades a set of knights, and that can't be good. Knight D2 now is just so simple.
And the next round will not start earlier than 8 p.m. So players whose games are wrapping up now have a little bit of time to get a snack or do whatever they need to do.
This is not good for white here. We're seeing kind of the logical kind of consequence of these kinds of end games.
Yeah, now this is
bad bishop. Joel's been taking my class, and he's supposed to have the black pieces in this.
He was using this game for instructive purposes.
We all find ourselves in these kind of situations.
This is for instructional use.
I think the thing is that is to see it coming. Whether you can see it coming, how far in advance you can see these kind of things coming.
Yeah.
And that looks like black can just go over and take the G pawn. White's going to find himself mated here at some point with maybe knight c3 check. Also, knight c3 and knight d1 is a threat. Like black could play pawn to b2.
Yeah, and this good game from Kalen. This game almost is. He used this game and he was able to work out some of the issues that are sometimes problematic for him in terms of.
Well, I haven't quite seen the end of it yet. And Kalen's making it a little difficult for himself, but
it looks like he ran out of time, Joel Karen. So.
Yeah. Well, that was worth taking another look at there at the end, almost.
All right.
All right. I'm going to take a 5-minute break.
Take a break.
And I can let me.
So
I can stop my video, correct? As long as I don't exit out.
I mean, you don't have to. You just leave.
Right. Well, maybe someone else will come in the room.
Yeah. Yeah, just stop the video. We could fix whatever. So I think all the games are wrapped up for round one of the Fred and Pat Mayntz Tuesday night marathon. Judith's saying that the under 1600 pairings are posted. So if you go to kind of the main site, which I will put up in the chat, and you can use this link to get all the information. We're going to have the standings up there. We put the pairings up there. Everything you can get from there. So you can go there to see all the information about the tournament. I'll refresh it and take a look. So actually, we're going to have 3 boards in the under 1600 because one player's got a buy, but then 2 players requested half-point buys for the round. So, and amongst the players is, this will be a good game, Aditya Chitta, who's been doing a lot of our classes and camps, is kind of a rising player. He's taking on Mechanics trustee Michael Hilliard. So that'll be interesting to watch. And then the pairings for the top section are happening right now. So as soon as we get that up, we will post them up, and then we'll get the next round started. And Christian Clemens in the chat saying these games are so entertaining. And actually, Christian got to enjoy some of these games by virtue of that early draw with Erica. But that's kind of one of the exciting things about the Tuesday Night Marathon is that we're getting some action games, and they're from the club players. They're a lot of fun to watch. And as Paul and I were chatting in the beginning, the TNM, the Mechanics Institute, we have our big events, no doubt about it. But ode to the club players, because there's a lot of exciting, fun chess at the club player level, and we're seeing it here. And it's a lot of fun. Oh, Paul loves it. It entertains him. So Erica would like to see more draws, which is good. But let's get more wins. Let's go for more wins. That's what we would like to see. But round one in the books. The pairings are happening right now. So, and we just want to thank you again for Martin Camacho. Martin, if you're still watching in the chat, Jude's asking if you want to get paired, because I think we have a player that has a bye that would like a game. So if you're watching, Martin Camacho, if you want in, we can get you in and start round two. No pressure. You do not have to do it if you don't want to, but if you want a game, jump in. Or someone's watching the chat right now and wants to register for the TNM in the under 1600 and you want a game, let us know right away. We'll pair you. Right? So, in the next 5 minutes, if someone wants to join and get a game against Andrew Ballantyne, who's like a very solid 1,000 player, but he's a gamer, let us know if you want into the Tuesday Night Marathon. We'll get you in, and you'll play starting at 8 p.m. So, and while I have the opportunity, just kind of want to promote. Lauren's in the chat. She's not playing. Actually, Lauren, we noticed that. We got battery issues here. Now we're fixed. We noticed you weren't in, so we were a little bit concerned. We were wondering what was going on. If you wanted to play next week, let us know. But it's got to be fun for players that usually play to be able to sit back and just kind of watch the broadcast and follow the games. Hopefully, we're moderately entertaining. And then Mansour, you can get a half point bye for the first round and then play round two. So, and Judith's working out all those. We have a big event, Saturday, August 15th. It is the Blitz Tournament of the Americas. So the Mechanics Institute is organizing that tournament. We're working in partnership with Kamada Chess, K-M-A-D-A Chess. They do a lot of work with a lot of players and chess organizations in Latin American countries, and they're based out of Nicaragua. And with Chess Sin Fronteras, with Juan Sendejas, he's been recruiting players like a madman for this tournament. And it's sort of designed as to showcase the Latin American chess culture. And we have a lot of players from Latin American countries, and they're all titled players playing in this event. And we've recruited a lot of players from the U.S., so it's going to be North and South America coming together. The top masters just showcasing their chess talent. We're going to have about probably 10 different streamers from different countries streaming the event. And Paul and Judith and I will be on the broadcast team of that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Saturday, August 15th. And you may hear about it in other areas. Check Chesscom chat. Let's see. Hola. Hello. Yeah, and there is no prize fund, and that's sort of kind of one of those special things. It's like a completely free event, and sort of the idea is that we're all struggling to use chess as a way to connect with others and bring people together and socialize and kind of express ourselves through chess, and you know, a lot of people don't have a lot of resources right now, and
That's right.
and the funny thing is like, you know, I mean, top players that are playing from the U.S., you know, and let me just give a shout out to our chess community. They're absolutely amazing because, you know, we explain kind of the cause and the idea behind the tournament. Everyone's been supportive. So we're having players like Christopher Yu, he's going to play, and Andy Lee, Josiah Stearman, Kyron, Balaji, you know, Enrico Sevillano. You know, a lot of players from our community are just playing because they support the cause and because we asked them to, knowing there's no prize fund. And, you know, that's one of the things that's kind of really special for us to see that, because that's why they're doing it. You know, that's why Kamada Chess are organizing people to do it. They just want to play free chess to kind of just showcase chess and create a big event and bring it to the Spanish-speaking community and kind of showcase our talents and bring communities together. And that's what we always try to do with our events, is kind of bring communities together through chess. And now we're sort of breaking into the Latin American community and bringing them with our players coming together, and then we're broadcasting it. And so even like our players in our community are getting showcased in new areas because they're going to be streaming in Argentina and Mexico.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's super awesome. So, yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I know Juliet was saying to check the ChessCom chat, but since this is not a tournament, I'm in the chat of individual players. So, and actually, someone was asking in the chat earlier. You know, this is the Tuesday Night Marathon, and this is a tournament, but because we pair manually, this isn't actually a tournament where all the games are, you know, gathered in one area. It's literally like 27 separate individual games. So we have to bring everything together. So for all the cool things about us being to pair manually, the one thing that's taken away is that there's no like one central location where like viewers can like watch all the games, like you would in like a regular event that we have on chess.com. But definitely would not have it any other way because this is like so much fun. So we should have the pairings up pretty soon in the round.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Yeah, it's coming up. Let me check. Let me refresh that.
I was going to say that the second round of the evening, the players do not know in advance who they're going to play.
They do not.
So it's an interesting mix of being able to prepare and then.
No, right, exactly, because players are going to be able to always prepare for the first game, right? Because, you know, we'll put the pairings in advance next week for the third round. But they won't be able to prepare for the fourth round, right? And same will go for 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Miss
Red Rose says where are the pairings? And she also says so much static.
Still?
Are we full of static here?
Pairings can be found at that link right there when they're up, but I don't think they're up yet.
Judith says they're up.
Oh, they're up? Okay.
Yeah.
And they are up. So on board 1, just announcing it, Kyron Griffith is going to play Rudolph Breet. Board 2 should be interesting. It's PJ Leotino is playing I am Elliot Winslow. Now, PJ Leotino is a player that was referred to the Mechanics Club directly by Jude Akers. He said, hey, this guy's a rising star. Apparently he's a Scholastic player. He's like 1900 USCF. And you got to get him in. And then
what's his name again?
PJ Leotino.
And what's his handle?
It is, let's see, it is, I want to get it right, Coco Cat.
Oh, okay.
Coco Cat. And then Rui Yang, talk about action chess, action players playing each other. Rui is playing Adam Mercado. Board 4 is a great match with Javier Silva against Theo Biasis.
So Theo must have won his first game. We didn't see that game.
Yeah, we didn't because I didn't have his game code, but we'll be able to follow it his game this round. And yeah.
So are we full of static?
Yeah,
or is that just do listeners hear us clearly, or they're having problems?
Or are we a total mess?
Yeah.
Should we just shut it off completely?
I mean, I could go into full robot mode.
Should we just turn it all off? Actually, let me get rid of that.
Somebody says, how about muting one by one? Lauren Goodkind just says static. A lot of static.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know where it's coming from.
I'm going to try putting my ear headphones on and see if that helps. Jude hasn't said anything about it, so.
I have a suspicion I may know what it is, but I don't know what's the best way to fix it, because I think the fan is going. How about now? How about right now? Because the fan on my computer just turned off, and I think that's what it was. Anyway, we are ready. So Jude's asking, are we ready? I mean, we're not ready with this. We're not ready with the static, but we are ready.
My earphones are terrible. I might have to get another pair.
Actually, if you don't use the earphones and just because I'm not using earphones anymore, and that apparently helped actually.
It says static whenever Abel talks.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
I've always said that about you, Abel.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like static. Actually, Miss Red Roses has told me directly that stuff I'm saying is just static and can't be understood. So, what I can do is we'll see how it plays out. I mean, I might have to be quiet a little bit and then just kind of direct the games, and then you give the commentary. All right, so let's pull up some games, because I think we may be ready to rock here.
And I'm hearing the static. Now that I'm listening, what I thought might have been my computer is actually I'm hearing it when you talk. So.
All right, so I'm gonna pull games, and I'm gonna keep myself to a minimum, and then you just comment, and then we'll see if it improves.
I'll try to find something to say. Rudy B. Who's currently playing Rudy B?
Rudolph Breet.
Okay. She says she's joking, it's static in general. Alright, so I don't know what to think anymore.
Yeah, she's just trying to she's trying to not hurt my feelings, that's all it is. Let's see. Alright, I'm just pulling a bunch of games. Judith is starting to start the games, so I'll bring the games up as they come, but let's go straight to board 1. Right there, Kyron Griffith and Rudolph Breet.
We have a 4-night Scotch game or something like that. We used to know about all these double king pawn openings. And all these offbeat double king pawn openings. There are two players that come to mind. One is Paul Karras, who was knew everything about this. And the other was Steve Brandwine. Steve Brandwine knew all about these double king pawn openings too. And there's a lot of strange, obscure theory with these lines. And if you don't know it, that's one thing that always stopped me from playing E5 to E4, was just how much you had to know and study for black to know all these lines. It's amazing amount of stuff.
Let me go to board 2 with PJ Leotino and I am Elliot Winslow.
Okay, here we've got some kind of Benoni structure here. And black's pursuing maybe F5 and F4 ideas. A little bit unusual, but maybe not anymore. Yeah, it's a game, folks.
Let's go to Javier Silva and Theo Biasis.
Okay, Lopez. Yes. Anything can happen here.
Yeah,
It's just an opening.
Standard opening, right?
Yeah.
And let's check in on Rui. And her game is about to start with Adam Mercado. She goes.
Okay, so they got a late start, huh?
Well, all the games are manually paired, so you never know which one's good.
Start when they start.
Yeah, they start when they start, and everything starts within 5 minutes.
I see. Okay. So how do you get forfeited? Is there a time when you get forfeited?
Yeah, actually, you get forfeited when Judith tries to pair your game, and you're not there.
Oh, okay. What about after third? Let's say you are there, and you're logged on, and you don't make a move. Is it 35 minutes, and then you're forfeited out?
Actually, and Judith, you tell me if it's different, but like if you're not there, she can't start the game. So it doesn't start. So it's like a forfeit, like right off the bat.
Oh, okay.
And it's the same way on chess.com. Like if you're not there, live chess ready to go.
Right. Well, I see. Okay. I see. Well, let's say white makes a move and then black doesn't respond. Right? Black, in other words, starts the game but then doesn't make a move.
It's a good question.
Would you get forfeited?
I believe it is 10 minutes, actually. That's actually a good question.
Yeah, I was wondering what's the time, when does it roll over?
And I'll wait till, because I know Judith's troubleshooting. Are you saying correct on what we're talking about? 10 minutes?
This is one of those bishop takes c6 Sicilians that I'm quite fond of with white.
Fond of those Sicilians?
Yeah, fond of playing this with white.
Let me pull up some games here.
These guys are playing with their real names.
Yeah, so that is another thing that Judith has the power to do.
Oh, nice! I like that.
And that'll only work if let me go back to this game. It'll only work if the players already have their names in their chess.com profile.
Oh, I get it.
So yeah, very cool.
Well, this game between PJ and Elliot still got a ways to go here.
Like developing. Interesting. It looks like it'll be interesting, though.
Yeah, it's a Benoni sharp position.
Look at this with Kyron and Rudy B.
Oh, okay. Well, this has to be okay for black, but white's got some potential here, with the two bishops and the pawn majority on the king side. But I imagine black should be fine here, but it's going to be a long game.
Let's
open this file.
look at this game. This is Rui and Mercado, and Adams played Rook B8.
It's a very direct move. I mean, usually black plays pawn E5 and knight E7 or something. This doesn't look like there's any harm putting the rook on the B file right away.
That's just fine, right?
Yeah, white plays. Okay, so there was another way for white to play it, which is maybe to play pawn to E5 there. And white usually doesn't want to, after the bishop is, white's play bishop takes C6. White usually doesn't want to play C3 and D4 because the position gets opened up and a little bit more, and black gets to undouble their pawns, and black has the two bishops. So white usually plays a little slower than that.
Whoops.
And black goes ahead and plays pawn to E5. So it's still a game. I mean, various things are possible here, including white playing pawn to D4, or pawn to D3 and knight to D2 or something. This is a little bit of a surprising choice for Rui, stylistically.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's
not. This is a move that would be characteristic of her to play an open kind of game, but this bishop B5 doesn't. I'm not sure it suits her style as much.
I just flipped over real quick because I was pulling it up. This is Daniel Perloff against Glenn Kaplan.
Not a complex little game here. Every piece is still on the board except for the couple pawns.
So this is board 1 in the under 1600 section. This is Ian Lau against Pranav Pradeep.
Well, black's got a nice game here. White's pieces are kind of like on funny squares. You know, the bishop on B2.
Yeah,
looks bad.
All the pawns blocking its scope.
Yeah, there's that. And the knight at B3 looks kind of strange, and so black should be completely fine here.
So we've had some exchanges in Rui's game. And this kind of looks interesting, but
so
white's looking all right.
Yeah, but black can play knight E7 and then maybe bishop G5. Maybe she's going to try to get something going with bishop G5 here. That looks like the sharp move. Otherwise, if black consolidates and plays pawn, and castles quickly, I think black's going to be okay in this kind of position. Black's got a lot of pressure in the center with two bishops and so on. Bishop G5 is an interesting move. Then she plays knight C3, and now it seems like black can just play black. I think black's got a good game here.
So I'm gonna flip over to Elliot Winslow's game against PJ Leotino.
So the black knight's gone to H5, then back to F6, and now back to E8 to defend G6. But black's ready to play knight E5, and the game is complex. But White's made a little bit of progress, and I don't see what black has done in the last. Black hasn't done much in the last few moves. But I think this is maybe knight H5 just didn't work out. If black wasn't ready to play pawn F4, then he's wasted a lot of time. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking with it.
Yes, commit to it.
And now I'm not sure how I would proceed as white. I mean, maybe knight A3, avoiding exchanges and playing for pawn to B4. mean, there's different ways to, historically, there are different ways that these positions have been approached. Yeah.
Let me go to Theo Biasis and Javier Silva here.
Well, Black looks like he's doing all right. That's what this opening, it's so complex. Every piece is on the board. But Black has maintained that E5 pawn, and, structurally, these kind of things are usually good for Black. But fireworks can happen. Pawn at D4, knight E4. Black looks okay here. Maybe even better if White doesn't have a move like pawn to D4, which doesn't seem to be anything in this position.
And Kaylin, you're welcome. Glad you're playing. And let's check on Ashik Uzaman. Ashik Uzaman.
Gonzalez, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Who was Speedy Gonzalez anyway? Is it a character from a movie or something like that?
It doesn't sound like mouse. It's the mouse from the Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Oh, okay.
Speedy Gonzalez, and then he had, I think it was the cousin, Slowpoke Rodriguez. Speedy Gonzalez and Slowpoke Rodriguez. I used to watch it all the time.
Was it any good, Abel?
Oh man, I enjoyed it. I can't believe you never watched, but I guess.
Yeah, I missed it.
I guess you're old.
Comics and stuff that I missed. I don't know. Somehow.
Ashik Uzaman against Eric Smith. So.
Okay. Well, this is an interesting position. Black is certainly behind in development, but trying to build up on the king side.
And Ashik is just
going. Tells me White should have a good game here, but there's some danger as well.
There's a lot of danger. I mean.
Well, but what about Queen E4 threatening to go Queen E8 check and exchange queens, which that would take all the sting out of Black's game.
Yeah.
If White could play Queen E8 check and trade queens, he's in good shape here. So I vote for Queen E4.
I'm gonna do a check-in on Elliot's game just because the position. This looks like really interesting game.
Yeah, one of these complex Benonis. All right.
I mean, it seems like White is getting the pieces in there.
I would tend to agree with you. I mean, even Nick, who plays the Benoni, seems to when he looks at these Benoni positions, he's sort of like, the way that they were won by players like in the old days, players like Tall and Fisher used to really find some ways to complicate it. Particularly Tall was the master of playing Benoni. But there was always something a little bit suspect about it. And if they weren't able to overwhelm their opponent, some player like Petrosian would always positionally crush it. And I think it's kind of telling that Kasparov didn't use the Benoni. He used the King's Indian a lot, but of course, and was the greatest King's Indian player. You would think that he would have taken up the Benoni, but by the time it was Kasparov's day, the Benoni was under a cloud, and people like Karpov were just mercilessly stomp it. So Elliot has to suffer all in these kind of positions and hope for some shot. That's kind of where it's at. How's Kyron doing on board one?
Doing a little troubleshooting real quick here. Let's flip to board one. Kyron in Rudolph Breed. I actually think there was when we did the Tuesday night online, the free tournaments, I think there was one where Rudolph Breed either drew or beat Kyron. I think. So I think he has done it before.
Wow.
But Kyron's gotten him a few times also. So.
All right. So the main thing here is for white is to open the game up and create some kind of weakness in black's position with the two bishops here. There's, that's what white has to try for. And, white would have some winning chances in a position like that, but he needs to find something to chew on. And maybe h6 is a mistake on black's part, and because it gives white a kind of a something to go up against with g4, g5 at some point. But Kyron is first doubling on the d file. Black's pieces don't have any kind of a firm foothold, and I think that's going to be an issue here. The knight not the knight doesn't have a good square.
Let me flip to Rui's game here.
I like white more and more in this game. This is the kind of position where you think black has a good position because of the two bishops and the open nature of the position. White has some pressure on d6 and in the center and a little bit more space, but you would think that black would be fine here, but we'll see what happens. It's still very sharp, only one minor piece has been exchanged. It's wide open still. White's very solid. So.
Let me check in on Christian Clemens' game here against Krishnan.
It's interesting that Roy's opponent didn't even have a name up there at all. The nameless, there's a Clint Eastwood
the faceless,
like that.
The faceless
man with no name.
Man with no name, the faceless man, I think, for the Game of Thrones enthusiasts. And apparently Mansour's game with Erica ended. I didn't catch that result. So who won?
Mansour is playing from India, huh?
Yeah, he's playing from India. I guess it's like early morning over there.
Wow. How about that? So he's fresh. The rest of us are tired.
Well, he's fresh or thrashed. I mean, it depends. I mean, maybe he's used to getting up at 10 a.m. and he's up at like 6, 7. Let's go back.
This looks like it's going well for black, but it's hard still to say. Bishop a3 is a move here for white.
3, 5. Just for fun, let's go to Perloff, Daniel Perloff and Glenn Kaplan. What do we see here?
White's got a nice looking game with the two bishops and weak black pawns at d6 and a7. So this is quite nice for Daniel at this moment in time. Of course, it's still very complex.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see if there's something direct like bishop f6 and bishop d5. But then I guess black can just huddle with rook f8.
Yeah.
So, or even rook e7. So, no direct thing here. But if white makes a pass pawn with c5, black's probably in trouble.
And someone in the chat is saying that Paul sounds so authoritative, aided by a severe echo on his microphone. Like you get that, like, you know, it's like the voice of a god or something.
I gotta do the robot thing.
You sound like Zeus or something, like commenting on chess.
And you know what? I put the earphones in and was talking. They don't have a microphone, right? So it's not going to help putting earphones in, I think, at all.
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, we sort of like debated, actually. Well, not debated, that's a strong word, but we thought about even broadcasting from mechanics, where, you know, one of us can be in the office, the other one in the main room, because the computers there obviously are like much higher powered, and that's where we've traditionally done our Tuesday night broadcasts. So maybe one of these days we should, because you live right down the street. I mean,
yeah, give me a heads up.
Yeah, no, of course, but maybe we should try that and just see.
I'm game. I'm game.
Yeah. That could be fun, just to try it out, and then we'll know that, you know, it's the equipment, and it's probably the equipment. So just for those of you that are not aware, let me put Kyron's game in the background, because
Sure.
start talking. Is you know, we're sort of broadcasting from our laptops, which is not like ideal, but that's sort of what we have. So I mean, fortunately, that the work computer that I have, you know, is capable of delivering the stream, but it's obviously nothing like the one we have at work, where we used to do all our broadcasts. We have like a professional setup. So
It sounds like that we both are having issues with the sound. It's interesting.
yeah, I mean,
Sound is, people complain about you than they've complained about me. I'd rather they complain about you.
yeah, I mean, I would rather they complain about me too, right? I mean, you know, I'm not unfamiliar with people complaining about me, so like I could handle it.
Let me just say that Kyron's opponent, we're looking at this game, for some reason changed on D4 and straightened Kyron's pawns out, so now he has all the advantages of the position.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like, you know, all the pawns are like moving forward, moving along.
And now Lex Twitch 2 is saying your sound is much better. Honestly, they're saying honestly. I want a dishonest opinion here.
So now I can discount everything he said previously as dishonest.
Maybe I should go back into robot mode.
Well, I don't know what's better. If it's better for me to just sound better, or for you to sound like a god echoing.
Kyron's opponent needs to make better moves.
Move.
Actually, I'll look into getting a pair of earphones and with a mic thing, and so that I can speak into it. Maybe that would be good.
Ooh. Let me check on this game here between Ashik Uzaman and Eric Smith.
Well, Ashik has barely used any time. Look at this funny position. Look at this. Black is playing without a knight. Unbelievable.
Got itself a little stuck there.
Unbelievable. Well, I mean, surely White must be winning.
I mean, like, what do you do here? I mean,
White just needs to find some entry point on the king side, I guess, and put Black in Zutwan.
I mean, it's almost like the knight literally can't come out, because even if Black does a6, you just go a4, right?
Well, even if he goes a6, what's he going to do if you give Black a couple of moves over there?
Yeah.
That's nothing. I mean, Black can try to play d5 and king d6, but that can't help. So White just needs to find a way to create a pass pawn on the king side or something, or put Black in Zutwan, and then come in with the king. There has to be a way for White to win this. It's an interesting position, though, and
Yeah, I mean, the knight can't go anywhere, right? Like,
White just needs to go bring his king up and move his king side pawns as far as possible, and then try to get black to move over some way.
And Lex is in the chat saying that you have a Zeus-produced echo. You kind of look like Zeus a little bit. You got the beard going, and you look like the Zeus from Clash of the Titans, like the old
trident, and something like that, a thunderbolt.
You look like Zeus in the 1980 Clash of the Titans. I think it was Laurence Olivier that played Zeus in that.
Really?
Yeah, and if anyone's in the chat that knows exactly the reference and does he not look like the Zeus from Clash of the from Laurence Olivier's Zeus?
Yeah, keep dreaming.
And I say because I just rewatched that movie.
Space.
Actually, let me go to.
Have you ever seen that movie, The Morons from Outer Space?
No.
Okay, so now White.
Oh, sorry. I just switched. I went
That's
to
okay.
Elliot's game here.
Yeah.
What a game! I mean, this is pretty.
Yeah, both players are sort of taking. I mean, it's a one of those complicated Benoni things. White's ready to play pawn to e4. This is just too complicated to call here.
And PJ Leotino is USCF. He's like 1900. So
White's got this is dynamic chess here. Black has got h5, and I mean this is a nasty looking move, bringing the rook into the center and preparing e4, e5 or something like that.
Sort of like breaking away over there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, that knight at b6 is like a thorn in Black's side.
Let's check in on Theo Biasas and Javier Silva here. Javier coming after Theo.
Yeah.
Now, does he have enough?
White's trying to break through on g7. Looks like it can be easily handled right now, like by rook g6 maybe. Threatens the knight at f5. Looks like Black should be able to, cover that stuff. And look at the knight at e1 and Black's pressure on the d5. I mean, I think Black looks better here. And maybe not winning, but this is a risky looking move, but yet an odd move in a way. I mean, White's got h4 here, threatening to take on g5, and of course Black can move the rook, attacking the knight, but it's a little bit dodgy. Black, it's aggressive, but h4, rook f6 maybe, and if h takes g5, rook takes f5, White can take on h6 with check, and Black can go into the corner, and, there's no mate. Or at least you hope there's no mate. So, tough little conundrum here. g5 is an uncompromising move. Rook g6 is much safer, but so if I'm White, I'm looking at h4 here. Otherwise, what else do I have? Slow, you're just going to get pushed back.
Let's check in on top board. Kyron Griffith.
I'm puzzled by Black's decision to exchange a rook on d4 and straighten White's pawns out. White's just slowly applying more and more pressure here.
Building it up.
The pawns are. This is just looking like black is cruising for a bruising.
Yeah, look at that. All five pawns on the.
Yeah. Eventually, something's going to should give here in the black position. And rook G, maybe even start targeting the G7 pawn after G5, white plays G5.
Let's check the top board on the under 1600. It looks like
White did well to exchange his light squared bishop, but has he lost a piece?
Yeah, he's lost a piece, but that bishop on A4 is pinned.
Right. So.
Oh.
And black gets it out of pin with this nice queen B5 move.
Yeah.
And that looks like it's all she wrote, as they say.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe, I don't see anything.
Yeah, Pranav, nice move by Pranav. Let's check check in on Rui.
Ooh, white has done very well. Oh my gosh.
It's a nice knight on C5.
Yeah, now white is a positionally winning position. Positionally winning position. We should,
well stated, Paul. Well stated.
Yeah.
I could not have said it better myself.
What
about Queen G5? Queen G5 here.
I mean, it's not just the individual moves. Queen G5 looks very strong. Queen C7, I guess. It's the fact that white just has a positionally won game with the weak black pawns at C6 and A6. And the bad bishop at C8, and so on and so forth. Something Rui exchanged the right pieces here. It's like the bishop, she exchanged her dark squared bishop for the opponent's dark squared bishop, and now we have this. I mean, black needs to try to play rook G4 and get that. Connect the rooks or something. But
I'm gonna switch over to just follow how this game goes.
This was a funny decision by white. I mean, white's going to play A4, A5, and black's going to have to take, and then white's going to play B6. In the meantime, and after takes, white's going to play pawn to C7. So black has to keep his king on D8, and then white's just going to go king E6 and king F6 and take on G5. So the game is over.
It looks like it. There's no moves. Let's go back to Elliot's game, because this one is pretty technical. This is pretty entertaining. Let's see how Elliot works through this.
White's ready to try to play E4 and E5, but he's got to be a little careful because the bishop will come springing into D4. Petrosian would know how to handle this for white, but I'm not sure about PJ.
Yeah, different boats for sure. Oh, I can't do that.
If you're interested in Petrosian, I finally got to write the article that I always wanted to write for the Mechanics newsletter. It'll be coming out in the next newsletter.
Wow, he's like pumped it up. That's good.
Yeah, it's about Petrosian and Larson. And Lone Pine, 1978, that I played in, and got to see these incredible chess players, Larson and Petrosian. And I actually got to talk to Larson and watch Petrosian analyze and stuff like that. It was just an amazing experience.
I went and did a hike this weekend at this park in the Saratoga Hills. And as I'm going down the road, I see Paul Masson Winery
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't think either of them played there.
No, right. But I'm just saying, like, it made me think because you're talking about Lone Pine, and I know a lot of people have fond memories of Paul Masson.
You know who was up at Paul Masson was Max Urba and Boris Spassky.
Is that right? Playing?
Both gave simul's.
Simul's. Interesting.
Yeah. And that's in, if you look in your old couch chest, you'll see pictures of Boris Spassky and the strongest players to play there were like Georgiou at Paul Masson, Fermion, Walter Brown, John Grief, Whitehead, Jerry Whitehead, Jeremy Silva, Dennis Fritzinger, the usual suspects.
Yeah. I should take a picture of you guys, just the usual suspects.
There's some pictures actually of everybody back in the day, including Craig Moore, and everybody was up there.
Let me pull up Kyron's game, because look at this. This is like Pawn.
It's like Ms. Pac-Man or something.
And Paul, I will be right back. I will be right back because my dog is knocking on her bowl and she wants to get fed. So I'll be right back.
Yeah. Well, Kyron's applying a full court press here, but Black is trying to jump up a little counterplay with the on the queen side here. But what else does Black have? This is just White's game all the way here. Although anything can happen in chess, and often does. Yeah. Kyron's got himself in a good situation here.
Yeah, this looks pretty solid. It's pretty dominant pawn formation there. Let's check on.
Go ahead.
What should we check on? I mean, I'm looking at Rui's game here. Look at that. That is pretty strong.
Okay, so
that's pretty much it. They're like pretty close to it.
Well, let's see. If Black plays takes on A3. White plays rook D7.
The queen's being attacked.
Knight takes B6. Sorry. Whoops.
The knight's attacking the queen, though.
Yeah, I just saw that. Okay, queen B4. Yeah, this is not looking good here. Let's figure it out.
Wait a minute. Oh, there's a capture. I just saw the rook. The last move was rook D1. I'm like, wait a minute. Why didn't you just take the queen? But it was
right. Well, queen B5, rook D7.
Rook D7. I mean, that's
and wins.
Yeah.
Go.
All right.
Looks like White accomplished her goals and outplayed Black in the opening. I didn't see exactly how it.
That's master level chess. Let's check in on Elliot Winslow's game here.
All right, so White did play pawn E4 and allowed this dangerous bishop move. And now White's gone into a big thing for some reason. I mean, you're supposed to think about this beforehand. I mean, allowing that bishop D4 check, if king H2 or H1, and if I can get a piece over the H file, yikes. I'll show you, look, I see this funny variation. Look at this. Bishop F2, if White plays bishop F2 here, pawn to G3.
Sure, and then queen H4.
Bishop takes D4, queen H4.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. This is what's going to happen. Maybe Black can even play queen H4 first. Yikes, Elliot's going to win a miniature here. Pawn to G3 looks crushing.
What a shot, huh?
Bishop D4, queen H4.
All right.
Well, wait a minute, then rook F3.
Rook F3, and then king F1, E2.
Queen H2, king F1, and if queen H1, bishop G1. So Black will have to take back. Still, I don't think that White should have gone into this. This is Too much.
Oh, we'll follow this one because this is pretty interesting. Let's take a look at.
This is wrong for white. This bishop. This black's got a good game regardless. I think, and probably very strong attack.
So let's look at Javier Silva and Theo Biasas here.
So H4 was played, and then I'm not sure what happened after that, but the white knight got chased all the way back, and now black has tripled on the D file, and white's in trouble, it seems to me.
And Rui did win her game against Adam Mercado, so...
I think white's losing this now, or close to it. It needs a tactical solution to their problems.
And Theo playing great chess. Theo actually won an award in the chess.com leagues as kind of our best player in terms of winning percentage.
Wow.
So congrats to him. I think he got like a 6-month membership, chess.com or something.
Very cool.
So congrats.
So he's been playing, and he was one of our league players, huh?
Yep. Let's look at this game. So he's still up a piece. This was the top game in the under 1600.
Well, I guess black plays knight h4 check, and that just seems to finish it off.
Yeah.
Knight h4, bishop h4, and then you're ready to take on f2. What's white got?
The end is coming, yeah?
Yeah, the end is coming.
So let's go back to just to check on this. I mean, it's just a matter of time here, right? Because there's no moves.
Well, okay, so it's white's move. Pawn a5.
It did not happen.
It takes b6, takes c7, would have won right on the spot. Maybe b6, king d8. Now a5 must be even stronger.
Now the thing is will white see
the idea
of a5 and then what, b6?
I guess I would say a5 takes b6. That seems to be the end of the game. If takes pawn c7, it's a queen.
Because if not for that, there it is. Yeah.
Black would have a blockade.
Yeah.
But now on pawn b6, knight a6, I don't believe it, but it's possible.
Yeah, right. Knight a6. Nope. Took.
Oh, he took. Well, then c7 is a queen. What's going on? What is that?
There's knight d7 check, but there's nothing you do, right?
Why black had to play knight a6? Well, maybe Nickel analyzed this in one of his columns.
Yeah, unless yeah. So Eric Smith gets the win. Let's go back to Elliot's game here.
Ashik did not put up the resistance that was possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so Elliot played g3 and white played bishop d4. All right. Now the problem for black, I suppose, is if he plays queen h4, rook f3, queen h2, check, king f1, he has to take the bishop on d4, and then the knight can take on d7. Yikes. Black needs to come up with a mate here. Maybe just taking on d4. He plays queen h4. Let's see. This is great.
This is what we thought. Yeah, this is what we expected. All of this here.
Rook f3. Forced.
And either white's a genius having, just figured this all out beforehand.
Oh.
It's possible. Okay, bishop g4. Before white can play, if black had taken on d4, white could play knight e2, threatening knight g3. Now, the threat is queen h2 check and bishop takes f3, I suppose. Even then, white will have bishop g1.
And he's up a piece right now, so he has, so to speak, material to play with. Yeah, he's got material to play with that he can give away.
Yeah. Just has to be very precise here. And he's got enough time to work it out, if there's something to be worked out here. So, for example, if king f1, just supposing, that doesn't seem to work, because black can play queen h2, queen h1, and if bishop g1, bishop takes f3, and white can't take back on f3 because of queen f3 check. So white just plays there, but that's the same problem. Or is it? Queen h2, king f1, queen h1, bishop g1, bishop f3 again. And white just loses the exchange here.
Yeah, but then
White can then go into d7. Yeah, so that's what's going to happen. And now queen h1, bishop g1, and bishop takes f3. But then white can maybe play knight e7. But then knight g4 threatens knight h2, Mayntz. I think Elliot's done it here. Bishop e3 was careless.
why can't he go king e2?
Well, then queen g2 check and take on f3 and blacks up the exchange. I mean, yeah, that's the way to fight on. You're right.
Yeah, I mean,
but black is
in trouble.
Queen g2 check, king g1, and also that black pawn on g3 is close to queening.
Right.
But maybe that's the only way for white to fight on. If he plays bishop g1, bishop f3, and it's like white's in Zugzwang, I think. Coming up is knight g4, is the horrible threat of knight g4. And white couldn't even play rook e3 probably because of rook f4. Yeah, it's just
Bishop g1. Bishop g1 played.
Well, now Elliot's winning for sure. Knight g4 is a horrendous threat here. And notice that if you take on f3, it just takes back queen f3 check. And it's crushing.
Now, is there anything to be done? Like, does he have to take?
Well, rook e3, rook f4, that can't be good either. This is I want to give Elliot some praise here, but in a way he was kind of forced to do this. It just happened to work out like clockwork, and that's kind of the so he did the thing that he needed to do.
And Kyron Griffith won the game. Wow, look at Queen f3 check.
Yeah, I guess I was looking around for something better. Bishop f2, and then I guess knight g4, maybe, or something like that. Oh gosh.
I mean, the thing is like, even if you play bishop f2, you can just go rook f4.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this has been a disaster. Your defense was much better than the one that
yeah, should have just gone king e2.
Yeah. At least white would have been fighting. This is just getting massacred here.
That's too bad, because the position was so good, and then it just
Yeah, it was very interesting, and white just fell apart in the tactics. Completely fell apart in the tactics.
And Kyron Griffith won his
Rookie
game.
2, Queen H1 mate is an amusing finish here.
Yeah. Tough.
What did Kyron do?
He won. Let's check out the end of that, though. But this was the final position.
Wow. It's interesting that Black gave up here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's showing a lot of respect for your opponent.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
would have played on.
Like, do I want death by 1,000 cuts, or do I want to go to sleep, right?
I think I would have played it out a little bit more. I mean, it's true. Black looks like he's lost, completely lost. He's a pawn down, but still, there seems to be a little bit of play in the position.
And maybe it's a little frustrating to play this position, just because you can't do anything.
Yeah, maybe B5 or something. I mean,
because it's almost like you can almost do something like threatening F6 and then pawn takes and then G6
with two connected pass pawns.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
You're just launching the pawns down. Anyway, let me check on Javier Silva and Theo. I mean, Theo looked pretty strong.
Yeah. Well, okay. So White's just giving up this pawn on G4, or White somehow got in pawn to G4. And Black still has this big bind on the king side. This is definitely going Black's way still. He's got a big grip. He's got a grip.
Javier trying to figure this out.
On the position. White's pawn at H5 is vulnerable. It's just tough. Tough all around for White.
Let's go back to Elliot's game and just see how this plays out. He played knight D1.
Yeah, well, I guess so. Elliot's trying to figure out,
it defends.
How do I make the guy to bring the other rook in? Takes on F2, looks like it's going to win a piece eventually.
Like, you play knight
and then
G4.
Just pile on the knight on F2 with the other rook and knight G4.
He's bringing the other rook. He can bring knight G4.
Yeah.
It's like, how many pieces can you...
How many pieces do you need?
Can you load up on the F2 square?
Yeah, Queen H1 and Rook F2 is a huge threat here now. I mean, among other millions of other things, I'm sure. Elliot's having too much fun.
Because there's some kind of shot here.
And you know what? Elliot didn't even play the best move. He should have played pawn G2 check, king G1, queen H3, and then it would have been queen H1 mate on the next move. He missed mate in 3.
Oh, he can't do that. I was going to say, can he play rook E3?
But I'm saying, instead of rook F8, Elliot missed a forced mate in 3. Pawn G2 check, king G1, queen H3, and there's no answer to queen H1 mate.
Oh,
White doesn't even have a spike check.
Yeah?
So Elliot, it's not as bad as missing mate in 1, but now you've missed a mate in 3. So let's see what you're going to do the rest of the game.
Well, I mean, mate in 3 used to get practice in that every Friday in the newsletter, Saturday.
All right, so now White plays queen E3. Now Black has a number of ways to win this. Queen H1, king E2, queen H5, crushing.
I mean, it seems like you could even just simply just take the queen and then...
We could play G takes F2, and if queen F3, take on E1, making a queen with check before retaking on
yeah.
F3. That looks like instantaneous death.
Yeah.
And if white plays rook E2, queen H1 mate. So that's it. That would just finish the game off right there.
There it is. It was played.
Now white has no move. Sometimes it's a simple move.
Really nice tactics in this game.
Yeah, they were nice tactics actually. They were really nice tactics. Very instructive. The way Black's attack just kind of blew in there was very nice. And Elliot got a number of ways to wrap this up here. I mean, even queen F2 check would be enough to win. You could trade queens on E3, play rook F2 check. You could try to finish him off with queen H1 check first, and then taking on F2, or queen H1, and then queen H5, and then rook F2. There's probably a whole bunch of ways to win this. Yeah. Whoa, who's he, Dr. Smith?
That was the game that we were following here with Ashik Uzman, where his knight was trapped in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Eric Smith.
That's worth going over. And F-Pawn, thanks for joining us.
Hey.
Yeah, fun tournament is right.
Yeah, this is a fun round.
F-Pawn, you should throw your hat into the ring.
He did, actually. He's one of the players that signed up to play the Blitz Tournament of the Americas.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So we'll be following that on that Saturday, August 15th. Here we have Glenn Kaplan and Daniel Perloff.
Wow.
And Daniel Perloff.
My next endgame class is rook endings.
There we go, right here. You have
and I think I'm going to go take a vacation to Bolivia or something rather than show up for that class.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to explain rook endings to anybody.
Well, you can ask one of the players from the tournament, hey, do you have a room for rent in Bolivia?
Well, yeah, maybe I'll provide streaming services from Bolivia.
There you go. Well, here's another ending. I'm going to switch from this game real quick to look at Christian Clemens and Krishnan, Gopala Krishnan. Now, Clemens is black, trying to defend this.
Yikes! This has got to be a win for white. But it's going to be tricky. Yeah, it's going to be very tricky.
Except Christian's only got like a minute. That's what's going to be on top of the material disadvantage.
Yeah. Wow, tough little game here for black. I can't believe that this is holdable.
Yeah.
Maybe if black can trade off all the kingside pawns somehow and win a pawn on the queen side, I don't know. Yeah. White just needs to sort of, apply some pressure here.
Let me go back to that Perloff Kaplan game here. This looks like this is likely to be the last. There's still a few other games going on, but I think this might be
tough game.
This might be the last game of the round.
It looks like white's significantly better here with the outside pass pawn and then the better rook and the better king.
I think Kyron's in the chat saying white looks close to winning this.
Yeah, rook c4 is a good start.
So, what's the strategy?
I mean, it's always the same thing. You distract the guy with the outside pass pawn, and then you win on the other side of the board. It's kind of every endgame is sort of boils down to something like that, or with outside pass pawns. Yeah. And Kyron's pointing out that all king and pawn endings would be 1, and that's because of the outside, the white king being over there. But maybe black will find an ending of just rooks without kings, and then you won't have to worry about it.
Now
That's a new strategy which I'm going to teach in my endgame class. If you're in trouble, just exchange kings, and then.
Now here's kind of the interesting part. So like
Kyron says he's in Zugzwang.
Right. So now he's saying he's in Zugzwang, and I think the trick is, does white realize this? And then what do you do?
That's funny that you should say that, because he'll realize it after black moves and gives him something, because like Kyron says, that's the situation that we're in. It's a fascinating position. I guess rook b7 is almost forced, and you give up the e4 pawn. But now comes the simple king e5 and then rook c7 or something like that, and devastation on the king side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you're just gonna pick off the pawn.
Kyron's doing the heavy hitting for me now. That's good.
He just picks off the pawn and then just marches in. Flipping over here real quick to Clemens, it looks like.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing: here's the thing. If black can trade off pawns on that side and have a passed pawn, can black sacrifice the knight for that pawn and then march the king over?
And when that's the hope. That's the hope, obviously, for black, that he'll be able to somehow maintain, create a passed pawn on the king side, and then sack his knight for the. But it just doesn't look possible. And also, black just moved his knight far from the action.
Right, I noticed that because the rook can just.
Not such a good idea. Black needs to make a passed pawn. He's messing around here. Well, it's a photo finish. Oh no, that can't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a bad photo finish.
Yeah. Nice win by Krishnan.
Yeah.
Converting
yeah.
Krishnan
is a
little upset. A little upset there.
A little bit of an upset, yeah.
Let's check this. This game's still going, actually, with Elliot and he's down significant. Is there any miracle?
He's been down a rook,
he's
right?
Down a rook and some pawns.
And a piece. No, rook and some pawns. But he's been down a rook for a long time now. This is just
there's no miracle.
Hoping for a miracle.
Mate, come in here.
I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Perloff and Kaplan here. This is.
Black's in trouble.
Yeah.
Black is in serious trouble. The king, and white has a beautiful configuration of pieces here. If the black king was in front of the pawn and the rook was roaming around behind the pawns, there'd be some trouble. But the black rook can't even leave the second rank because of pawn to b7. So it's just, it looks really, really bad.
Yeah.
King d5, and then with the threat of probably rook c7. But black gets it. Black, every move is Zugzwang for black. Every move. Right? If he plays rook g7, the king comes over into f6. Black is in a continual state of this one.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
very tough to play.
It's unusual kind of position.
Let me jump back to this game. Just is there anything that Black should be afraid of? Nothing, right? I'm trying to make the undramatic dramatic, right? It's like there's some sliver of opportunity, but
I mean, if Black allows D7 and D8 queen,
like lets him march in.
and rook E8 check is just a check, king G7, there's nothing after that. This is a super safe move, just cover that D pawn.
But I mean,
even knight takes D6 would have been an easy win.
Elliot was making sure. I mean, enough that he had, took some time to think this all through.
I like Kyron's thinking too here, because now Black is trying to find, Elliot is trying to find a forced mate with rook G7 check as well, maybe. That's the problem I have now, is I don't know how to think. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at. Should I be looking at forced mate, or should I be trying to corral the D pawn, or?
Well, Elliot's sort of a purist, right? He's trying to find the best continuation.
Well, he missed a mate in 3. So
well, he's missed a mate in 1. We've seen him miss a mate in 1. So
yeah, I know. Elliot missed a forced mate in 3 in this game, and now he has to suffer. That's why he's in this position here.
Let me check in on Perloff Kaplan. Oh yeah, it happened. So
yikes.
Yeah. Done deal there.
Good game by Daniel.
Yeah, playing up, got the win. Daniel, strong player. So
yeah,
not too surprising.
So he's 1-1.
1-1, yeah.
1-1.
Not a bad score in the top section.
When you're playing up, an even score is something to shoot for.
Yeah.
And then beyond that is all gravy, That's why those people's tournaments were so disappointing. I never got anywhere in that tournament. I mean, twice I had a plus score, and the rest of the time was an even score, or I must have withdrawn, or something horrible happened.
You couldn't crack the. Yeah, it wasn't meant to be, Paul.
Right.
It wasn't meant to be. All right.
Is this the last game of the night?
Let me see. Well, I'd have to look. Jit would be able to tell. This has to be the last game, if not the second to last game. It has to be. And
Elliot can win this game in 5 million different ways.
I think rounds 3 and 4 are going to be hot to watch, because top players are going to be eventually playing each other, at least in round 4, and they're going to have to get through round 3 of people that are on a roll. So should have some exciting chess next week. And we had exciting chess just this week with all the rounds.
Well, Elliot's got this one well under control. I don't even see a way for Black to lose this.
Yeah.
There's always a stalemate issue. Like knight A3 would be a really bad move there.
Hey, we saw a game last week where it was actually Christian Clemens, I think, that got himself into a stalemate, and then in a totally lost position was just throwing checks.
Just gave up his rook.
Right, and then just
Black can take, and Black doesn't see it.
Oh wow!
Come on, Elliot. What are you doing?
Or he just didn't care. He's just marching.
Yeah, I think he doesn't care. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I mean, this could be like if you play Rook B6 and then go H2 and then you capture the knight. It's almost like you fought back to being dead, just down like a pawn
Dead loss.
for like a moment in time.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. There might be some wicked humor at play here, but on Elliot's part, giving a player just enough rope. But, instead, like there, Rook G1 check and making a queen wins instantly. So Elliot's threatening Rook G1 mate here.
I think White is hoping that Elliot runs out of power.
For stalemate or something.
He's hoping that the internet goes down or something happens. Which I've seen happen during the Pro Chess League. Ralph Mamedov was in a 1 position, and then he had 30 seconds left on the clock, completely winning, and then he lost internet connection, and he flagged. And his internet survived. His internet survived. So good win for Elliot. Fantastic tactics. PJ Leotino was playing a great game, and then it just turns. So you should take a look at that. And
Elliot took far too long to polish him off. We're disappointed in that. Elliot
let us down. So
take a task in that.
So we'll see. We'll hear from Judith to see if all the games are done. I think they are done. Let me take a look, and then we'll see if the standings get updated after the games are done. But it looks like in the top section, Kyron, Elliot, Rui, Theo, they all won their games. I have to wait to see if who won between Pranav Sairam and Satvik Krishnan and Joelyn Shah and Nitish Nathan. They were playing also. I mean, whatever combination of players play in that third round, I mean, those are going to be fantastic games. So we're looking forward to that. Let's see here.
Well, live from downtown San Francisco.
And all games are done. So players, if you want to hang on to the broadcast, I think Judith will update the standings shortly, and then we can go over them on the air real quick, leading up till next year until the next round. But yeah, so Judith's working on that for right now. But fantastic games starting off, and this is round 1 and 2 of 8. So we still got a lot of chess to go. A true marathon.
Yeah. All right.
And so we'll
Thanks
stay on.
everybody for showing up.
Yeah. We'll stay on for just a few minutes while Judith updates the standings. No huge upsets yet. So the top players did their thing. And I mean, the one that to me is like looking. Elliot's looking sharp. Rui's looking sharp. She's looking pretty strong. Is there?
She defeats the big bad wolf, and then it's all gravy from there.
Yeah, I mean, Elliot's asking if there's a round 2. So he somehow lost count amidst all the chess that he's been.
Yeah, you just played 2 games of chess. I mean, Elliot, why?
And Elliot, you don't need to record it. You don't have to record it today.
Yeah, have fun. Who were your students that did well? Kyron and Elliot?
I know Javier Silva is one of them.
Oh, okay.
Not me. I mean, I didn't even play.
Big echo on me again.
The God. It's the voice of the gods.
Yeah, the voice of doom.
I love how our players are really quick when something's not right. Jump in right away. Let us know how bad we are.
The echoing voice of doom.
Telling you, I'm sticking to my guns that,
Right. More
Laurence Olivier in Clash of the Titans as Zeus. That is the look you got.
I'm going for more echo. I don't know about you.
Like more cowbell? More echo? Little Saturday Night Live reference.
Elliot said he'd tell us when it's good, but then we try to fix it.
He's probably right. So you tell us, like, everything sounds great, you're doing a great job, and then it gets planted in our mind, and then we start acting different.
So I miss seeing these people in person.
All right, so Judith's saying the standings are updated. Let me post it into the chat.
And my mic is always crappy. Thanks a lot.
Hey, we wanted the feedback, and so we got it. So here we go.
I want to give the good stuff.
So here are the 2 points. Starting from the top section, we have Theo Biasis, Nitish Nathan, fantastic. Kyron Griffith, Elliot Winslow, Eric Smith, returning to the TNM. Rui Yang Yan, Pranav Sairam, also with 2. Patrick Liu with 2. Vishwa Nanaganda with 2 is a student in Nick's class, or took Nick's class. Jonah Bush with 2 points. Kritin Gopalakrishnan also with 2, and Kaylin Melville also, all those players with 2 points. At 1.5, Stuart Katz, Mansoor Mohammed, those are the only with 1.5, and a ton with 1 point. In the under 1600, the sole first place with 2-0 is Pranav Pradeep. At 1.5 is Aditya Chitta, Rama's son, and Andrew Gong.
Nice.
Andrew Gong with 1.5.
Very good.
Yeah, and a lot of players with 2 points. And kind of the exciting thing for this tournament is that with so many players in the top section, I mean, we have 51 players in the top section. 51 in the top. With 8 rounds, we're going to have a lot of action. So,
and I've got to say that to my student Dragus, we didn't cover your second game.
Yeah,
but he applied some of the knowledge from my in-game class. I'm very pleased. I want to see the game.
And players still. Yeah.
Email it to us, and we'll look at it tomorrow in our regular class.
And for the players in general, what I'll do is I'll send friend requests to all the players. We have a spreadsheet where we have all the usernames. Accept my friend request, and then I can pull up all the games a lot more easily. What was limiting tonight is that if you weren't a mechanics chess friend, I didn't have the game pulled up, and I could have looked on the spreadsheet to pull up the games, but I didn't want to ruin the broadcast. I was worried that if I switched windows to pull up a game, it was kind of put things out of whack, and I didn't want to do that. So we'll be prepared next week where we'll have all the players available to watch any game. So we will do that. And Judah removed the tie breaks in there, which was set because of the Scholastic National Invitationals. So the tie breaks don't really mean anything when we're talking about cash prizes. So how to friend mechanics? Actually, the easiest way is to just send me a friend request and I'll accept it. But if I don't have a friend request from you, I'll send you one and then just join it. And then that way I can easily pull up games of friends. And it makes it so that there's no chance that I'm going to tweak something on the broadcast. So we'll take care of that next week. That's an easy thing to do. So anyway, great start to the Fred and Pat Mayntz Tuesday night marathon.
Absolutely, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, everything went great. Judah did an amazing job TDing, setting everything up. So thank you very much. Just thanks for everyone that follows and kind of watches what we do. It's a lot of fun just having everyone, even letting us know when the sound needs to be a little bit better, or we need to do something. It helps us because I think we made little adjustments that handle it. Elliot said in the chat he's never seen a single episode of Friends, which is going to break the heart of the biggest Friends fan we have at Mechanics, which is Judith. And she'll actually say that she learned English in part of watching episodes of Friends. So anyway, fun fact. Remember, everyone, this Friday, the Mechanics Chess Social will have Dr. Alan Kirschner, who is retiring from the Weibel chess school, the chess team. So after quite a long time, so we'll have that. And stay in touch because we have some big events coming soon. Judith and I are in the process of announcing a huge event that is coming really, really soon. We're not going to release the details of that, but we probably within a week. And this is on top of the Blitz Tournament of the Americas, so stay tuned for that as we get the details finalized. And looking forward to next week. Thanks, everyone, for staying with us. I'm Abel Talamantes, MI Chess Director, FIDE Master Paul Whitehead, Dr. Judith Starry. From all of us, have a good rest of the evening, and we will see everyone next week at the TNM.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.